of this session in your bag inside. Please find out your keynote paper inside the bag. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed, Honorable Advisor, Ministry of Finance, respected special guest, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Momen, Chairman, Anti-Corruption Commission, Dr. Hassan H. Mansoor, Governor Bangladesh Bank, and Suleiman Joliba, Country Director Acting, the World Bank Dhaka. Respected Session Chair, Dr. M. Khairul Mujumdar, Secretary, Finance Division. Ms. Suraya Jannat, World Bank Lead Governance Specialist, President, ICAB, President, ICAB, Session Chairs, Panelists, and most important technical sessions, representative of the regulatory authorities, journalists, ladies and gentlemen, dear chartered accountants and cost accountants. Assalamu alaikum. I have a detailed paper, but it is difficult to read out a full paper because of time constraint. I will request you to see my board. This is the Council of FRC, 12-member council. This council serves the FRC, and all FRC's function is governed by this council. The highly qualified council you can see in the keynote paper, PowerPoint presentation. This origin of this Financial Reporting Council comes from World Bank ROS recommendations, and it is enacted in 2015 Financial Reporting Act, independent statutory body. Our mandates of FRC set IFRS and ISA compliant standards, monitor financial reporting and auditing, oversight of actuarial assessment, oversee valuation practices as per IBS, enlistment and supervision of audit firms and professionals, ensure effective corporate governance, development of audit practice code. Manpower. You know, this is a new organization. We are, as I am the chairman, and there are 3 executive directors working with me and some contractual staff working very hard, and we are going to recruit 150 people within a short time. This is under process. And we have a software we built at our own, and by this software we are doing our day-to-day business. Regulatory activities, you can see enlistment of auditors and audit firms. Till today, for the current year, we have enlisted 869 chartered accountant firms and individual chartered accountants, and 46 cost accountants and cost accountant firms. We are working with them. Adoption of standards. We are adopting IFRS standard, IPSS standards, IFRS for SMEs, international auditing standards, international valuation standards, and IESBA code of ethics. This is our present activity. And mandate, which we can do. Global engagement. We have a global official engagement with IASB, IFAR, the World Bank, and other global standard setting organizations. We are entrusted with capacity building, digital transformation, and policy advocacy to reform the FRC efficiency and oversight capabilities. Collaborative approach. We are very open to collaborate with regulators, our local regulators, our international regulators, businessmen, academia, and other financial bodies. This is just brief of international FRC. The US FRC formed in 2002 by 5-member council members. Australian FRC, there are 8 council members. And you know, Australian Council as a whole, advisor to the Finance Minister of Australia. And Singapore Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority. they are doing well function. They are doing the accounting and auditing regulation functions and also আমাদের দেশে IRJCD company registration functions also they do the Singaporean FRC, and we follow mostly the UK FRC. This is we mainly follow the UK FRC, and UK FRC is a 10-member appointed members by the government, and this council is okay, that is a technical mistake. You try to solve this problem, and I have a time constraint, so I have to continue. UK FRC, this is the organizations we follow. 10 members, government appointed council, and 3 committees other than council and 3 advisory body. They work with FRC to strengthen the FRC in Europe. And you can see from the slides very shortly, UK FRC has a several international collaboration with several institutions all over the world. And we follow the UK FRC's regulation. Key similarities. We have some similarities with UK FRC, USA FRC, Australian FRC, and Singaporean FRC. We all are independent oversight bodies. We all monitor accounting and auditing standards. We all regulate audit firms and professionals. We all promote professional excellence. We all collaborate with international standard setting organizations. And there are also some scopes to enhance our activity. Enhance governance, forming specialized committees. We are thinking to form specialized committees like UK. Expand council structure. We can expand council structure, taking the experts from the chartered accountants, cost accountants, business committees, actuaries, and lawyers from the business communities. Adopt digital tools and increase focus on sustainability and depend on international collaboration. We always encourage international and local collaboration to raise the efficiency of FRC. Understanding economic governance. What is economic governance? Economic governance means ensure transparency, accountability, and rule-based decision-making process. And FRC do it seriously. FRC is economic. We regulate financial reporting and assurance standards. We strengthening public trust and attract investments and promote sustainable growth. We ensure economic progress in inclusive and equitable way all segments of the society. We work for that. FRC is entrusted to do this. Why financial reporting and oversight, audit oversight matters? Because it reduces information asymmetry. It enhances capital market efficiency. It provides reliable data, which is very much needed for economic governance, and strengthens corporate accountability. We ensure prevents misrepresentation, prevents misrepresentation in financial positions and statements, and we try to protect shareholders, creditors, employees, and others. We audit these matters, market failures, because strong oversight safeguards the economic confidence. Improve corporate governance. In the Bangladesh context, I feel it. The family control is a very hindrance to the corporate governance. Private companies or public companies, listed companies or non-listed companies in Bangladesh, the owner of the company, they try to become an owner. They are not shareholder. They this family control should be curtailed. And we, FRC, ICAB, ICMAB and government, all we should try to reshape the board of directors of a company. Qualified independent directors, our government, FID or Bangladesh Bank or DSEC, they recommend to employ the independent directors in different companies. But you must collect the independent directors to appoint in a company who have adequate knowledge and integrity. Please, I will suggest our leaders of Bangladesh economic system, Dr. Salehuddin sir and Hassan Mansoor sir, please appoint independent directors from public universities who have accounting and finance and economics background. They will do better for economic governance. And even chartered accountants and cost accountants also. And CFOs, the discharge of CFOs to be regulated. Introduction of second tier accountancy qualification. You know, our summit is accounting and auditing. But between this accounting and auditing, there is another undefined accounting process. The accounting, who prepares the papers, who supply the data for preparation of financial statements, and after preparation, this goes to the auditor. This second tier accounting professional should be defined and should be regulated by anybody else. It may be regulated by ICAB, it may be regulated by ICMAB, it may be regulated by SCCA or FRC, but there may be defined second tier of accounting qualification. And also accounting technician. You know, in UK, there are highly qualified accounting technicians. They are working to help the accountants and auditors. Internal auditors, auditing function is also important for the external auditor. Role of company secretary is also very important to ensure the internal governance. FRC's strategy to contributions to the economic governance. Uniform application of IFRS and global standards. Investors' confidence through transparency, reducing investment risks, enlisting and monitoring audit firms and professionals, safeguarding independence of auditors and accountants, collaborating with ICAB, ICMAB and other professional bodies, providing regulatory oversight to facilitate the profession, not to replace the profession. I always believe to collaborate and to oversight to facilitate the profession of ICAB and ICMAB and actuaries. Creation of advisory group for type minimization and cutting some points. Creation of advisory groups like UK. Besides the FRC Council, there are advisory groups, 3 advisory groups from chartered accountants, cost and management accountants, public university professors in accounting and finance, retired government officials with accounting and finance background, actuaries, bankers, insurance and lawyers. They will act under the advisory board for regulating the economic compliance of the country under the banner of FRC. Local regulatory collaboration. We, FRC, we are collaborating with Bangladesh Bank, BSEC, IDRA, MRA, NBR and rest of joint stock companies to take the economic governance in a good shape. International regulatory collaboration. We are FRC having international collaboration with AOSST, IFRS Foundation, IFAC and IBSC. Ensuring quality financial information in capital market in Bangladesh. I think This is important for BSEC because the true and fair financial data and financial information is very much needed for capital market development in Bangladesh. The valuation of assets and liabilities of listed companies and actuarial report of insurance companies, this should be fair and actual. If it is actual and fair, no investors will lose their capital. If it is unfair, the investors will be harassed investing his money in a bad share. So, this is important for FRC and Chartered Accountants and ICAB to prepare the true and standard financial report to stabilize the capital market in Bangladesh. Assurance, difficult to give the full assurance by the auditor, but there may be a standard. Up to certain limit of assurance should be provided by the chartered accountants of our country in case of audit. If it is reasonable audit, the audit is absolute assurance, the chartered accountants should be allowed to give the absolute assurance to the client. Auditor's remuneration. This is another issue. The good audit report, we cannot expect paying the low audit fee. To get a better audit report, we have to pay a reasonable audit fee. FRC, in the meantime, formed a committee consisting of all stakeholders to fix up the framework of auditor's remuneration. I think within 7 days or 15 days, we will get it, a reasonable audit fee framework, consulting with the ICAB, business community, Bangladesh Bank, and other banking organizations who will pay the audit fee. Enhance internal revenue. You know, the Bangladesh economy is running by the internal revenue of NBR. The NBR revenue absolutely depends on your chartered accountants and accountants' financial statement. If the financial is correct and fair, the income tax VAT will go up. If the report is not fair, definitely it will go down. So, to strengthen the nation, to strengthen the economic governance of the country, you have to raise the internal revenue, creating or preparing the actual financial audit report. And another issue, reinvestment. Any money which is audited and which is taxed, it will go for reinvestment. Otherwise, if it is untaxed or outside the audit report, this money will drainage to the other country or to the black hole of the, which we call black money. Please, for revenue and for reinvestment, this is also financial report also very important. Introduction of new sustainability reporting frameworks, S1 and S2. S1 under the IFC guidelines. We are working with IFC to prepare a guideline for sustainability guideline. We call it IFRS S1, and for environmental climate factors, considering the climate factors, IFRS S2. This is preparing and we are working on it. And in our country, some of the banks and financial institutions and insurance companies are working as a Sharia-based organization. So, this Sharia-based financial institutions need Sharia-based accounting standards and auditing standards. We are thinking how to build a Sharia-based accounting and auditing standards. We will work with ICAB and ICAB to create the Sharia-based financial standards, and we will take the consultancy from the World Bank, because World Bank, Ross project is working on this issue very hard, and I will appreciate Ms. Suraya Janna to help us in this regard. Forensic accounting. You know, forensic accounting is the investigative accounting. I will request the chartered accountants and cost accountants to train your accountants on the forensic side. They give them training on forensic accounting, and if you have a forensic accountant in your firm, your financial statement will be very strong and investigative. Challenges to make the deliberation short and going fast. Challenges: financial statements regarding listed companies needs to be prepared, ensuring highest quality. Risk of non-performing bank loans increase if mortgage assets are not valued properly. You know, I can give you one information, sir. In Malaysia, the revenue from valuation department comes equivalent to income tax in Malaysia. But in our country, there is no valuation department. We, FRC, trying to set a standard along with ICAB and ICAB to set a valuation standard to settle the asset and liability value. If the asset value is fake, how the banks will provide the loan? The loan will be bad loan. If the valuation is correct, no credit will be in a bad shape. The credit will come back to the bank. But the valuation of assets and liabilities is very poor in Bangladesh. I will request my chartered accountants to concentrate on this issue. Family control non-listed, I already discussed it. It is to be curtailed. Independent director, I also discussed this. Independent directors to be appointed from on the basis of qualification and integrity. And CFO, they are the linkman between the auditor and the company owner. They are the important person. This CFO appointment to be done by the company as their terms. But the removing of them, permission to be sought from the FRC. This idea, it is my idea, I will throw it to you. If you, ICAB and government allows the FRC will issue a notification to control the discharge of CFA. Introduction of second tier accountancy, we discussed it. Introduction of accounting technician, we discussed it. And the next one, the capacity gap between large and small firms in implementing IFRS remains significant. Large firms, they apply IFRS guidelines properly, but I think the small firms, they have to be careful to apply the IFRS rules to create the audit statements. Audit quality varies, especially outside metropolitan areas. Outside metropolitan areas, the charterers who work in the outside metropolitan areas, they should be more careful to prepare the audit report. Valuation standards to be implemented properly. To establish mutual understanding among the class of accounting and auditing professions as per provision of Financial Act 2015. FRC has to work as the apex regulatory oversight bodies. Single point enlistment. There are multilateral enlistment. We concentrate on the single point enlistment of audit firms. Strategy to be taken to oversee the non-listed companies and big turnover-based SMEs. This is another issue of ROS project. ROS project is also trying to keep them under the oversee of FRC. But we are now overseeing the listed companies and public international entities. But non-listed companies, they are the big one. SMEs are they are the big one. They should be also regulated in any way. FRC and two professional institutes, namely ICAB are governed by different ministries. FRC governed by Finance Ministry, ICAB governed by Commerce Ministry. This to be addressed. These three organizations to be governed by single ministry. I will request my chief guest to see the issue. way forward, how we go forward. Our first step to go forward, we are trying to appoint our staff and officers very quickly, and it is under process. FRC, as per law, it is a financially autonomous body, but we have to depend on the final division. But we should also try to take autonomy from our own income. FRC urgently needs technical and financial support from the government or donor agency or from the board to build the capacity of FRC itself and its employees also. FRC and two professional institutes, namely ICAB should be governed by the same industry. It is also discussed earlier. Accounting professionals and auditors should be enlisted at a single point. Sir, now the auditors are enlisted in BSEC, auditors are enlisted in Bangladesh Bank, auditors have to get enlistment for any other organizations, in different organizations. We will suggest they should get from one point enlistment and they will work in all over the country. Introduction of forensic accounting. We will try. It is not the government function. It is the chartered accountant firm's function to introduce the forensic accounting. We will work with you. Please come forward to introduce the forensic accounting. Adoption of actuarial standards. To regulate the insurance sector, there is no qualified actuaries. Only 2 or 3 actuaries are working there. They are above 80 years old. So you have to, the insurance company, who are the auditor of the insurance company, have to concentrate and to suggest the audit sector to develop the actuarial functions and actuarial standards. Implementation of valuation standards. We are committed to apply the valuation standards for valuing the assets and liabilities properly. Advisory group, we are trying to form an advisory group under the banner of FRC. Local accounting and auditing professionals to be attached officially. It is another important issue. Different accounting firms from outside the Bangladesh country, they are working in Bangladesh. So I will suggest, if they have a certificate or license to work in Bangladesh, they have to collaborate with our local firms. Then they will work in Dhaka. This is my suggestion and we will go forward with this. Facilitating the Sharia-based financial reporting and auditing. Let me end my emphasis that financial governance is not an end in itself, it is a means to broader vision, a more resilient, just and proper Bangladesh. The FRC is committed to playing its full role in advancing that vision, still living professionally and with unwavering integrity. We want to establish the full corporate governance under the leadership of Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Dr. Bhuyan. Your insights remind us that robust frameworks begin with unified vision. Ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to special remarks from the pillars of our professional ecosystem, the presidents of ICAB and ICMAB for special remarks. Gentlemen, your institutions are the bedrock of our profession. May I now invite Mr. N.K.A. Mubin, FCA, President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Bangladesh, ICAB. President Mubin's pioneering standard in ICAB, under his leadership, elevate Bangladesh's accounting excellence globally.